My name is Adrian Nantchev, and this channel is all about helping you become a remarkable entrepreneur. So click on the subscribe button below and press the bell notification right next to it for the latest uploads. Now, how do you go about managing your money? Well, there's a few ways around it. There's the idea that with your income from work or investments or elsewhere, divide these into different jars, like different bank accounts essentially, whether automatically or manually or whichever way. And these different accounts have a different percentage of the income that's coming in, and these different accounts are used for different purposes. So the different accounts are necessities, charity, play, education, consumer spending, and financial freedom account. So necessities is roughly 55% of your income goes into that single bank account that's dedicated purely for your necessities, food, rent, utilities, etc., etc. And then you want to spend one or so percent on charity. Charity in the terms of helping people and also building like a mindset, an attitude, like an emotional stance. Let's say I've got enough money, I can afford to give to the world, I can afford to give my money out to the world. If you can't afford 1%, at least 1%, you then do your time. Ideally 1, 2 or 3%. Then you have play, and this is roughly 5%. And this in theory is supposed to be spent at the end of the month. This is supposed to be like a way of unravelling, letting the hair down, so to speak, and letting the inner child play and things like that, and so as not to be pent up and stressed up and tense, all that kind of stuff. So knickknacks or cinema or things like that. We have education, which is roughly 10%. That 10% goes to books, courses, mentors, etc., things like that, where you spend this money in order to learn more and to increase what's called your human capital, so as to be able to produce more and create more and do more for the world, because you're a smarter person. The more you learn, the more you earn. Then beyond that, there's what's called consumer spending, or LTSS, which is long-term savings for spending, which is essentially consumer goods, jeans, clothing, I don't know, carpets, wallpaper and paint and things like that, things like video games, I suppose, and other luxury convenient goods that you just spend throughout the month. And the last one, which is roughly 24% or 20 to 30% or so, or at the very least 10%, you want to go into the financial freedom account, FFA. That FFA is used for investing in different things. Investing in stocks, investing in property, investing in crowdfunding, investing in something so as to give you more money back, to give you a return on the investment. Not necessarily in the bank, which is something like 0.05%, but you want to invest it in different things to get more money, to grow it and compound it to get more return. That one is probably the most important. You never take any money out of that. And that money is only for investing and for nothing else whatsoever. That's worth understanding. That money is supposed to be used to get more money, so as to transition from what's called the rat race, so to speak, 9 to 5, grinding it out, increase the income from this so it's significant enough so you don't need to rely on your job anymore. So you become what's called financially free. That's important. This is important, this one is. And you don't want to just spend 10%. You want to go between 30 to 50% of your income. 30 to 50. Because if you consistently invest 10%, it's not enough. And the more money you earn, you want to invest more money at a higher percentage. Roughly every extra £10,000 you earn, you want to invest an extra £1,000 of that. For every £10,000 more you make, you need to increase the amount by 10 or so percent. You need to invest more and more money. You can't just be 10% forever. This is why I say 10 to 30%, maybe even 50%, depending on schedules and logistics. But you need to invest a lot. You can't just invest a little bit. It has to be a lot and a lot and a lot to grow and compound. My little phrase that I say now is grow and compound, don't fuck around. Because if this is the way you want to be, where the money is coming to you, what I call do the work once, get paid forever, why would you want this situation to be the status quo? You want this situation to be the status quo for as short as possible, while investing as much as possible into here to grow and to increase your income, So so success truly does beget success. The more money you get coming in here, the more you can compound and reinvest. The more you get coming back, the more you can then reinvest, depending on other variables like the market, the situation, your knowledge, your understanding, beta and alpha investing, things like that. So that is very important to understand. So budgeting, actually, I find it quite fun. It's very systematic. A very systematic approach to look at your finances. Very stoic as well, which is very important. But the question of the day to you is, how are you managing your money? How are you managing your money? My answer to it is I've just told you about my ideas and strategies and principles, what I'm doing. But how are you managing your money? Comment below, I'm very curious. In the meantime, however, click on the subscribe button below and press the bell notification right next to it for the latest uploads, because this channel is all about helping you become a remarkable entrepreneur. How cool is that?